Let me ask you a question. If I looked at your investment portfolio today, would I see a strategy or just a collection of investments? It's a question that catches many professionals off guard. I've met people who own land, SACCO shares, unit trusts, Treasury bonds, rental property, insurance policies, and even shares listed on the Nairobi Securities Exchange. On paper, they looked like successful investors. But here is a surprising part. Many of them are no closer to financial freedom than they were 5 years ago. How is that possible? Today, I'm going to show you why good investments don't automatically produce good financial results, the costly mistake many high-income professionals make, and how a simple shift in thinking can dramatically accelerate your journey to financial independence. Hello, I'm Manyara Kiragu. I help high-income professionals in Kenya optimize their finances and build lasting wealth through strategic financial planning and rental real estate investing. One of the biggest misconceptions I encounter is this: if I just keep buying good investments, I'll eventually become financially free. It sounds logical. After all, buying investments is better than spending everything you earn. But there is a problem. Buying investments without an overall strategy is a bit like collecting tools without knowing what you're trying to build. You may own excellent tools, but if they aren't working together, you won't build much. The same is true of your finances. The goal isn't to own more investments. The goal is to own investments that work together to create the future that you want. Some time ago, I sat down with a successful professional. He proudly listed everything he owned. I have a SACCO. I've invested in unit trusts. I own treasury bonds. I have bought shares. I have life insurance. I also own a rental property. Well, it sounded like a well-diversified portfolio. Then I asked one simple question. How does each of these investments help you become financially independent? There was a long silence. Not because he lacked intelligence. He simply had never been asked that question before. He had accumulated investments. He had never connected them to a strategy. And that's a mistake I see surprisingly often. Imagine you're building a house. You purchase bricks. You purchase stone. You purchase cement, steel, roofing sheets, windows, doors. Each is high quality, but they're scattered across the compound. Would anybody say you've built a house? Of course not. You simply own building materials. Many financial portfolios look exactly like that. People own excellent financial products, but they haven't been assembled into a coherent financial plan. Each investment exists independently. None has a clearly defined role. Without a strategy, investments compete with each other instead of complementing each other. One of the biggest shifts in my own thinking came when I realized that every investment should have a specific purpose. For example, some investments should provide stability. Treasury bonds, for instance, can help preserve capital and generate predictable income. Some investments should provide liquidity. Money market funds or emergency savings allow you access to cash when opportunities or emergencies arise. Some investments should generate long-term growth. Others will provide tax efficiency. And some, particularly well-selected rental real estate, should generate the passive income that eventually replaces your salary. Notice something important. Each investment has a different role. The objective isn't to diversify for its own sake. The objective is coordination. When every investment has a clearly defined purpose, your financial life becomes easier to manage. So, before buying any investment, ask yourself one question. What problem is this investment solving? If you can't answer that question, you probably shouldn't invest yet. Let's take a few examples. If your goal is paying university fees in 3 years, should you be investing in the same way as somebody planning to retire in 15 years? Probably not. If your objective is creating monthly passive income, should you choose investments designed primarily for capital growth? Again, probably not. The best investment depends on the problem you are trying to solve. Too many professionals ask, what's the best investments? Successful investors ask, what's the best investment for my objective? That small change in thinking can completely transform your financial results. Every year, new investment opportunities appear. Someone recommends a new SACCO, a new development project, a piece of land, a hot stock, a private equity deal, cryptocurrency. There is nothing inherently wrong with any of this. But here is the danger. Without a strategy, every attractive opportunity becomes a distraction. You start chasing returns instead of building wealth, and over time your portfolio becomes increasingly complicated. More accounts, more statements, more products, more decisions, but not necessarily more progress. Financial success isn't about owning the greatest number of investments. It's about owning the right investments in the right proportions for the right reasons. Simple usually beats complicated. Focused usually beats scattered. Intentional usually beats fashionable. Think about using Google Maps. Before it tells you which road to take, it asks you one question. Where are you going? Imagine opening up the app and saying, just give me the fastest road. It can't, because the fastest road depends entirely on your destination. Investing works exactly the same way. Until you define where you're trying to go, no one can tell you what the best investment is. The investment follows the destination, not the other way around. Here is a simple exercise I would encourage you to do this week. Take out a piece of paper. Write down every investment you own. Next to each one, answer 3 questions. Why do I own this? What specific purpose does it serve? How does it move me closer to financial freedom? If you struggle to answer these questions, don't feel discouraged. Most people were never taught to think this way. But once you do, your investment decisions become clearer, simpler, and more effective. And this is why the third pillar of my structured growth framework is personal financial strategy. Before buying another investment, before chasing another opportunity, build the strategy first. Then allow your strategy to determine every investment decision that follows. To help professionals identify whether they are building a coordinated financial strategy or simply accumulating investments, I've created the Financial Freedom Scorecard. It takes about 15 minutes to complete and assesses the 7 critical pillars that determine long-term financial success. In the description below, you'll find the link to the freedomcoachke.com website where you can download the scorecard. Download it and take a few minutes to fill it and discover where your greatest opportunities for improvement lie. And if you would like help interpreting the results, you're welcome to book a complimentary financial freedom strategy session. Together, we'll review your current portfolio, identify any gaps, and develop a roadmap that aligns your investments with the future that you want to build. If you found this video valuable, please like it, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who seems to own every investment under the sun, but still wonders why financial freedom feels so far away. Remember this, the goal isn't to own more investment. The goal is to build a financial strategy where every investment has a purpose, every decision supports your goals, and every step brings you closer to a future where work becomes a choice, not a financial necessity. I'll see you in the next video.